Hello and welcome to this episode of There Be Dragons. It's the beginning of a new arc, so let's go around the room, introduce the players and the people that they play.
Hello, I am Skairn, or Josh Walker.
But which is real?
I don't know. They're coming over crosswise.
I'm Tristan. I'm playing the yet-to-be-introduced Charlie Roughhouse.
We got a little bit of him.
Got some of him flexing. It's the most important part.
Yes, just flexing the pecs. That's about it.
I like that you actually flex. For the people playing at home, Tristan flexed the pecs.
As he is now.
Yeah, and not stopping.
Please stop.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
He's sitting there just kissing his biceps.
Now, licking them now.
I know he's having
Stop
some
calling
cheese.
your arms your guns. They are not guns. On that note, I'm Keren, and I play Rhylind, the disgraced Dragonborn commander. Question, can Dragonborns be damaged by fire? Or is she kind of like a Targaryen, where if you threw in a fire, nothing would happen?
I believe they have a racial trait that gives them resistance.
Resistance to cold rather than cold.
Yeah, because Dragonborn are elemental in nature, according to the way
But
that
I'll
they're
just
chromatic
ice press the fucking fire out.
Yeah.
And I am Angela, and I play Abella.
And I'm Tom. I'm playing the bard Nezor.
Excellent. Well, when last we left our intrepid party, they were travelling on the good ship The Joy with your Captain Ironsides and Dupree Dupont, and you were making a voyage to the city of Oreme, which is a border town between the Kingdom of Erhart and the Bachenaux Republic. Charlie has obviously just made the double finger sign down, showing his guns.
You know, if I wasn't into women, that would be very arousing. How are you doing, Abella? Sorry, forget I asked.
So yes, you sail down the Ore, or up the Ore rather, Ore being the river, and make berth on the first pier that is in what appears to be an internal dock. And obviously Dupree's got up and sort of mentioned that he may have a job for you. But you make land and all step off onto the pier for the first time in about a month.
Abella falls over.
Charlie, you took a carriage to the bridge,
Yep.
got out, and you're on the side where the river goes to the ocean. You saw the ships came through, they had the gun salute, everyone's...
You gave them the gun salute back.
I like that. And then Gorgeous George ushers you into the carriage.
Yep.
Turns and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like a moment of FaceTime with the champ, please meet us down at the Ore Square and the Bachenaux side. He will be handing out limited edition signed parchments. Thank you." And he gets onto the top of the cart and cracks the reins. The horse pulls out, and as you leave, Thunderclap Jacque just locks eyes with you the whole time. Yeah, like,
How you doing?
not homoerotically, but I can certainly understand.
I may have misunderstood the kind of wrestling we were involved in.
Bare knuckle boxing, but yeah.
Lots of mud. Not much
Some
clothing.
jelly.
That would be an awkward time to get a boner.
Now,
Really?
after you clear the crowd on the bridge, Gorgeous George actually runs down the rail on the side and opens the carriage door and gets inside and goes, "You're gonna be huge, kid."
I'm already huge.
Well, yes, in
I am of a
stature.
large physical stature.
Well, yes, obviously, physically, you're huge. But what I mean is you'll be big. Everybody will know your name. Everyone will love you. But we gotta make some cheddar off this. So, unfortunately, for the next couple hours, you're gonna be signing.
That's the plan.
Yep. Excellent. I like how you think. Now,
I kind of imagine him like Drax the Destroyer. It's like, I am already huge. I am very large. We must make cheddar. Why must we make cheese? This makes no sense.
I enjoy cheese, but I have people make it for me.
I could sign autographs and then they would give you money. That would be better, would it not?
And you could use the money to...
kid, you're killing me.
No, I'm not. I can if you ask.
Anyway.
Now, I've been talking to one of the other promoters, and I know we had the fight set up for the House du Champion, but we had a really interesting idea, and I want to run it past you, and I think we can get old Clap on board. We're thinking of building the ring on the bridge, right in the middle, and we'll have the crowd there. It'll be open air. You know, all we have to do is basically bring the cask of wine up there, and everyone's set. They can set up little stalls. After the fight, we have a little tent set up for you. You can have some private time, clean up, go and see your adoring fans, rather than being some dusty old boxing hall can only get 100 people inside. What do you think?
It doesn't bother me.
Excellent. All right, I'll set it up. Don't you worry about a thing, okay? It's at this point, your carriage is basically pulled up in the square, and there is a marquee set up, and a number of Bachenaux high guard are actually there. So these guys are dressed in full plate. They have rather pointed helms. I guess the way you describe it is that sort of branch upwards and out, but like the back of a spade, you know how it's quite curved and domed? They have like a rather sharp-looking helm.
They have helmets shaped like snow shovels.
Sort of, yeah.
Like an imperial officer, or like
Like a stormtrooper.
Yeah. No, like the ones on the Death Star. The ones with the weird backwards sloping helmets.
No, not quite. I get what you mean, but no, not quite. Like these are more. If I could,
They're speed cyclist helmets.
Yeah, there are two things the Bachenaux love: fighting and
That's
very, very fast
streamlined.
cycling.
Beware of our private parts at your mother's house.
And your aunties.
At your aunties. I do apologize.
That's just no.
Yeah, alienating the French viewing audience.
That?
Okay. Oh, okay.
So it's sort of a.
There's a crest.
Yeah, it's like a crest.
He's got a shovel on his head like a crest. So when he headbutts somebody, it really hurts both of them.
And it has embossed on it a large oak. They're dressed primarily in green, but they have like a yellow goldish kind of cloak. And they've got rather large red plumes that come out the back of the helm. Most of them are armed with longswords that they keep at their side. One or two of them actually have bows, and the rest have spears and other sort of weapons. But the majority of them, they're quite heavily armoured, and they're keeping the riffraff out. There are a number of food marquees around the area as well. It's still a very festive feeling, but the actual area where the champions are is very much like you come in through the front, you pay your admission, you go, you get your autographs. Yes, so you're ushered in through the back by Gorgeous George, who's muttering about how much money they're going to make and all this sort of stuff. And he pulls you into a small, like I said, marquee tent that has a sun lounge. It's a bowl of fruit.
Chaise lounge.
Yeah, chaise lounge. There's a bowl of fruit. There's a large barrel of water and cloths and other accoutrement to make yourself look good. It's a large mirror that's been propped up against the central pole that holds everything up. And a large carpet has been laid out on the ground for you.
Is there a fighting frame?
No.
Let me down, Georgie. Let me down.
He actually noticed that you're a bit crestfallen. What's the matter, champ? What can I do for you?
Well, I was hoping there'd be something for me to practice. I do have a fight.
I understand what you're saying, champ, but I had that thought, and I thought, what better than to show you training in front of the crowd to get them worked up? Poke your head out that window. Oh, the tent flap.
I do.
So you see a large platform that's raised. It's very prominent, and it's sort of like a faux ring, but inside it has training dummies and a number of different kind of training frames and all sorts of stuff there for you to work on. And it's all really hard-looking wood as well, and very minimal padding. There is also another tent which is opposite you. So your tent's sort of a royal purple. So it's obviously your colour. And then opposite you is this dark green tent. And then you see like there's 2 tables and an easel. There's like an artist there, a painter, set up on either side. And it's like I said, it's sort of a little bit of a pavilion set up, and you're ringed entirely by guards. Being lined up, yeah?
Just do some push-ups and shadow boxing and whatnot.
Sure. There's a few little kids who are watching from the rings. Yeah. They're just cheering.
What noise do they make?
Yeah.
No, Charlie.
We're children. Anyone
Oh, no,
who's
it's
watched.
French kids.
If it's French children, life is so terrible.
The Bachenaux children are on the other side. They're all smoking
All
cigarettes.
French people to smoke.
Especially the children.
Especially the children.
painted this bitch, I did shit.
I would. I ate my paintings.
I painted it.
You are so derivative.
Yeah, you see, there's an elf, one of the painters, elf, he almost looks like one of those 14th century sort of, with the big pomp, no, not 14th century, like...
The pompadour hats and the big...
Yeah, the big pompadour hats with the big plume and all that sort of stuff. He's got a whole bundle of like parchments underneath him, and then on the other side is this bloke. It's just a man. He looks like death. He's
wearing a long black cloak. He's got a big scythe.
Not literally.
He paints with a paintbrush and that's a big sign.
He's an impressionist.
Very thin, very thin. Like, bit bony.
Almost skeletal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this man looks like he hasn't had a decent night's sleep in 3 years. He's got
a wine of white powder under his nose.
He's
One eye's clearly bigger than the other.
He's vibrating slightly, very energetically.
He has
You know, like how most chihuahuas exist most of the time. That.
He has shitty looking sideburns, like they're just wispy. So this guy is currently sucking down what looks like the remnants of a dart. Not like a literal dart, me a cigarette.
He's hacking a dart.
He's hacking a dart. Rail thin, and he's wearing almost pauper-like clothing. And he's just staring at this canvas. And he's got what looks like a very thick painter's brush in one hand, not like your little artsy brush, like something you'd paint a house with.
Something you use to paint Charlie's muscles.
An impressionist one, yeah. Broad strokes.
Yeah.
Bold lines.
But yes, he has a sort of a manic air about him, and the other guy just looks like he's like,
I'm a painter.
I'm a painter, I've trained in the greatest painting academies in the world.
I once painted the ceiling in one afternoon. 2 coats.
But yes, and Charlie pushes past and goes, not bad digs, huh? And he does like, you're already shadowboxing, I guess, but he's from the ring, he's making like doing the same.
Yeah.
So, he's a very ugly man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Does his jowls wobble as he punches?
It's Danny DeVito.
He's not Danny DeVito, although I should have made him Danny DeVito, that would have been
I'm
amazing.
imagining my old head of drama, actually.
He has his face has a very toadish element to it. His eyes are slightly too big. He's bulgy. He's a really creased brow. I think I've described him to you before, but he just looks like someone squished his head a bit.
Yeah.
He's ugly.
Evenly?
Not really. Like maybe favouring
Got
one
his
side
head
more than
trapped
the
in a
other.
vice once.
Yeah. He looks like he had a traumatic birth. You know that just.
And everything went downhill from there.
Yeah, because he's fuck ugly.
Though gorgeous is an ironic term.
Yes.
We already covered this.
Yeah, I remember this very clearly. Yes.
We're very
Snatch.
Yeah.
Yes, Gorgeous George, the big ugly boxer.
like Les Grossman.
So, you guys, the dock actually fronts onto the area where Charlie is.
I say we leave the city as quickly as possible, not picking up any other accomplices. Particularly no annoying dwarves or boxers.
Can I at least have a bath? I really, really want a bath.
I just like being on land.
We need to get you
And
a
Abella
meal.
smells like vomit.
She probably needs a bath and a meal.
Yes.
So from where you're standing, looking out, there is like a dock. So there's lots of cargo and freights and all that sort of stuff. To your left, it looks like it's a warehouse district. On your right, there is a lot of well-to-do looking houses. They look like what you would expect foreshore prime real estate to look like.
It's a Malcolm Turnbull's house.
Sort of, yeah, that kind of.
Near the docks.
Well, relatively near.
You can see them from the dock.
You can see them from the docks, and then like a road, and then
Which is primarily pubs
yeah.
and warehouses.
Yeah, but the to the right hand side looks like there is probably a number of hotels or inns or et cetera, depending on what your price range is.
Yeah.
Dupree's actually stepped down and he goes, "Well, my dear friends, I think at this point I will be departing for a few hours. If you wish to find me, I will be at the Scarlet Rose. Lovely little institute just down there," and he indicates towards the rather richer end of town. He goes, "I shall meet you there, let us say, for supper, if you wish to discuss, and if not, I bid you well and best wishes. Oh, and Mr. Skairn, I do encourage you to seriously consider my offer, as I do believe I may have some information as to the whereabouts of your sister coming in quite quickly.
Dankeschön.
As to the rest of you, well, I hope I see you there for din-dins. Good day." And he hurries off, and
How can you trust a man who says din din?
He's the most punchable person I've ever met.
My mother used to
I've
say
met
that to
a
her
lot
cat.
of
I
punchable
met a dwarf once who was very punchable.
He's
But
dead.
I let
Don't you
but I let
even
an suit of armor punch you.
I didn't know about you lot,
too
but I need a
soon,
hot
friend.
bath and some fresh arrows.
I need to eat.
Yes.
Well, we'll get a snack, but I would like to hear what he has to say at least.
I'm not sold. I'm kind of done with this guy, and I just want to get my guitar repaired.
What happened to your guitar?
Just remember, this man is phenomenally dishonest.
Yeah. But he has something I would like to know. That is part, like, we don't have to go on this quest or anything that he is offering us, but he has information.
We can always hear what he has to say.
The whole point of
after
the
I
thing
eat
was the
some food
payment
and
in
then bathe.
information, yeah. He's good for a free meal, if nothing else.
Oh, I remember the breakfast. Yeah, I'm sold.
Nezor, your pocket's empty and ready?
I'll go to the pub. I'm sure they could use some music.
Yeah.
Right.
What else is going on here that we could hang out and do?
You can hear something of a to-do occurring, and you can see what looks like a set of tents in the distance, and sort of a stream of people are kind of heading in that direction. So
I snag a passerby. Pardon me. What is going on over there? Pointing at the tents.
there's a biff happening in 3 days.
3 days.
Right, a big showdown between a gentleman boxer fighting that bastard Bachenaux fuck.
In 3 days.
3 days, a big fight. Didn't you see all the to-do on the way through?
The man flexing, remember?
Oh, yeah, that was him. Ah.
That's the gentleman boxer himself. I've got me savings on him. I reckon he's gonna win.
Well, best of luck to you, my man. Dankeschön.
Ah, thank you. And he doffs his cap and toddles off in the same direction. Oh, if you're interested, they're doing autographs. I'm gonna get one. Charlie Roughhouse, gentleman boxer. Hey! And
Well, I
a
have
few
a
others.
feeling that we'll be getting them for free soon, so...
I don't, just, the whole floor in Depont's about is Charlie is a gentleman boxer. He's a very honourable person.
You know this man?
Reputation only.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the military as well. Never met, but, you know, you pound enough people into the dirt with your bare hands, people tend to know who you are. I've got claws, so it doesn't count.
You're not allowed to fight, are you?
No, not barehanded, no.
That's quite fair, I think.
Man lost an eye, you know, it was awkward.
Whingy Moni.
Anyway, do we want to go check this out, or baths, food, guitar repairs?
Yeah, all of those things first. I mean, we've got, 4 or 5 hours before dinner? All right, well, let's grab some lunch.
Do you find yourself in the public triangle that's across from the docks?
Should we split up and meet back at a pub, or find a pub and then split up and meet back at?
There's a number of pubs along the way.
I'm sort of looking for the shabbier, but on the nice end of shabby.
Okay.
The shabbiest looking nice pub.
Somewhere that'll let me
bistro.
play.
Oh, wait, I'm wanting a room as well.
Could do a bistro bar and restaurant.
There's the Chevalier de Coq,
Oh, yes.
which looks rather run down.
The shriveled cock.
No, I think you said the Chevalier de Coq, which means the Knight of the Rooster.
Yeah. Yes, and it has a like the sign that hangs from it has what looks like a dead bird on the end of a
lance.
A lance.
Yeah. Chevalier de Coq.
Yeah, in rather ornate letters. And
You know what? Let's just keep making people say
very
that name.
greasy
I'm
windows.
all up just because of the name for the Chevalier de Coq.
No, I think yep, Chevalier de Coq. Good.
Yeah.
We'll have a look,
Where are we
Check
having
out
a
the
look,
cock.
sorry?
Sorry?
as the locals call it.
So
the
we're
cock.
checking out the Chevalier de Coq, is that right?
Yeah.
The Chevalier de Coq, yes.
Yeah.
Let's say
Alright,
that 5
so
times
let's go
real
to
fast.
the Chevalier de Coq.
Chevalier de Coq.
Chevalier de Coq.
Chevalier de Coq.
This is
Chevalier
going
de
to be
Coq.
the episode title, isn't it?
Yes.
Actual Bachenaux is probably not spoken in this area. It's more like a common parlance. It's more Erhart than anything else because, again, like
So actually, the dude I flagged down, did he even understand what I said?
yes,
He was an Erhart.
He was. They were pouring over the bridge. Like
okay.
He was effectively a soccer hooligan.
Of course.
As he left, he was singing songs with his mates.
Charlie Roughhouse and punch you in the gut.
It's got purple on one side, green on the other.
Can that be his anthem? Charlie Roughhouse will punch you in the gut.
I thought it was going to be
That's it.
Ducock,
And
but
then
all
when
right.
you vomit, he will get his cock out.
Johnny Roughhouse, Johnny
Yeah, it's more like these songs are slow and Charlie,
Johnny Roughhouse, fuck the French.
from the Bachenaux, Charlie Roughhouse.
Yeah.
I love a good song, don't you?
Oh, please, can we go in the pub?
Let's
Yes,
get
a
some
number-
Rhylind, some Chevalier de Coq.
Yes. So this is a rather rundown looking place. It's got greasy windows, like the point where you almost can't see through them.
That's good.
And it looks like dim firelight.
Frosted.
Yeah.
Everything's fried.
Yeah.
After seafood.
Can I have a deep fried cock, please?
It's a Scottish fine dining establishment.
So you enter inside, and the first thing that hits you is a wave of heat and a sort of stable-like stink. It's rather pungent in here. And you immediately can see why, because there appears to be a bar wench shoveling what looks like the leavings of a stable inside the fire.
It's a very good.
Yeah.
All those in favour of leaving immediately, please say aye.
Maybe not.
No, they're it's,
No. I'm
they're
serious.
shoveling no, you want it? You want out? All right.
Shoveling dried horse shit into a fire.
That
No,
sort of,
it's
that
like
sort
that
of stuff
heated-
gets it. No. They really do use that. That's not unusual.
What?
Dung is excellent fire material. It's and
From
in a
herbivores,
city.
absolutely.
In a city, you wouldn't have as much firewood. It would be.
Fire shit.
It would be the horse leavings from the.
But
shit. It's just
you go to an
really
upper.
fine.
It's plant material.
Yeah.
All dung does.
Well, I have
but-
learned something today.
Just don't go shitting in a fire, pretty much.
Yeah, it has to be dried, but yeah, it's good stuff. It doesn't smell great. Bone is worse as well. You burn bone as well, but that smells horrible. This is burning hair, essentially. It's all made of the same stuff.
Could we possibly go for the second nastiest looking pub?
Maybe
you'd
not
like.
so greasy windows.
But I will say it rather looks homely. There is lots of lovely ornate wooden carvings. There's a banister that runs the length of the room up until you hit the bar. And to your left, there's sort of a depression that goes into the ground and has a number of tables. And it looks like they have rotisserie chickens on like a pit fire. But it does stink rather much.
Smells of
No,
animal
it
poop.
smells like shit.
Bail.
Bail.
All right.
Please, let's go.
All right. So where would you like to go next?
3 weeks of nice salty sea air. No.
What's
Ruining the nasal passages
further
just yet.
up the road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next pub.
There's another pub called the Pie and the Prince, and it looks a little bit more upmarket, but people who are there appear to be Bachenaux, Thunderclap Jacque supporters. Not that you know who he was necessarily
Not that I
fighting,
care.
but they're wearing patches on their clothes that are the Bachenaux oaks, and they do not appear to be particularly hospitable towards you.
So they're French.
Yeah, they're French.
They're French soccer hooligan.
But
Canadians.
a large amount of them are elves. They look like they're about middle class, and there's a few humans and 1 or 2 gnomes, which are rather small. They're on little they're using stools effectively as seats.
Are there any pubs on the street that don't smell like shit and aren't full of soccer hooligans?
Not really. They all sort of smell of shit.
What are the other?
Yeah.
Oh, fine, let's risk it. Yeah.
Either way, it doesn't matter because everything smells like shit.
Okay, let's go in the Chevalier de Coq then. That's,
Yeah, let's go back to the Chevalier.
at least we've entered that
chicken
one
wings
before.
there.
Though, please,
Yeah, chicken
baths.
wings, yeah.
All of us baths afterwards.
Yep.
Okay, so you all walk in again, holding your noses apparently, and the barmaid who was shoveling peat into the.
No. Well, Peter's soil.
I was trying to use a nicer term than shit.
Night soil.
Night soil.
Nuggets.
Yeah. So, shoveling nuggets into the fire. Bricks. So yes, she immediately comes up to you and busses you over to a table, which is not too far away from the fire pit where they're there's a surly-looking gentleman turning the rotisserie.
The nearest we can get to the fire pit, the better, I feel.
Yeah, well, you're pretty close. You're like,
Okay, good.
You're basically next to.
Isn't that where all the...
Roasting chicken.
Oh, okay.
I introduce myself. So my friends are looking for a room for the night, but I'm a bard. I'm a performer, a guitarist, a songwriter. Are you looking for anyone for tonight, or do you need some entertainment tonight?
Well, I could do with some entertainment, but perhaps I should talk to the bar manager. As she gives you a big wink. She's
She could do with some entertainment.
Nezor,
I'm
get
not
in
as
there.
good as a wink to a blind dwarf. She likes your rough, man.
Yeah.
Nezor, get in
She
there.
likes a rough.
No, here's shush, dead clown.
Oh, she may.
I'm just gonna say we didn't get a proper description of her, so I'm not into it.
Okay, so
Oh, you're so shallow.
Elvish, fuck anyone.
Basically, is she hot?
she's a dark-haired elf, very plain-looking, not especially attractive, but not
How big are
unpleasant.
personalities?
How big's her personalities?
Yes.
Decent.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Nezor,
Get in there.
The gentleman who's turning the rotisserie belches and you immediately smell alcohol. He's also looks a bit worse for wear and is basically just doing this to not fall over.
Skairn looks over at Abella and gives her a nudge as well.
Not my type, but you know what, Skairn? You just go for it.
Dankeschön.
Hrosh has actually run down your arm at this point and is making the begging shape with his begging hands towards you.
Cute.
And is
In a
making...
minute, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Back at the pavilion.
Oh, me.
Yes.
Leon.
You've been shadowboxing and Charlie's actually, Gorgeous George, sorry, has actually just disappeared. I got business to deal with. I'll talk to you later, Chief. Charlie, you've basically been just training on this raised ring, and there are a number of people that are oohing and ahhing and booing at the same time. Jacque has actually been quite reclusive. He stayed in his tent, but you can see him through the flap, and he appears to be pacing and doing much like what you've been doing, which is shadowboxing, and he just, for whatever reason, doesn't appear to be stepping out at this point. The elvish painter, the one that's dressed up to the nines, has been furiously brushing away at the thing and using like his thumb to measure your height, and then been using the other thumb on top to sort of get a better measure. The other painter, the one who looked like he was almost dead, has just been staring at that canvas for a good 20-30 minutes and has just been re-rolling cigarettes. And as far as you can tell, he's not done anything, but he's still holding that rather thick brush to his side, and it seems to be tapping it with his fingers.
You just know that dude's going to be an amazing painter.
Oh, I would imagine so. But,
Has he signed any autographs yet?
well, I imagine they're painting. So, yeah, I would pop down and, go up to the both of them and ask whether I can see their work.
So who are you speaking to first?
So I'll talk to the posh one.
The Pompadour? Yeah.
They're like, good day, sir.
Oh, sir, it is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Emile. And he does a sort of a faux bow and twirl of the hand. Because it is a wonderment to be able to paint someone of your stature and musculature. Please, will you have a look at my work and give me an opinion?
Absolutely.
And you can see that he has drawn you in a very stark style. The picture is of you throwing a fist and being very statuesque against a very stark background. It looks almost like a recruitment poster for something. And you can see that he's sort of drawn almost like the Christian style of the halo around your head. He's given you a real Renaissance sort of feel to it.
Are there clouds?
No, but
Cherubs.
but it is like looking down and up at him, and you can see the ringside there.
Stalin-esque almost.
Yeah, almost. But very, very strong pose, and It's actually very impressive, given it's been about half an hour, but you can see that it's only about a third of the way done because he's basically just done bold strokes to kind of cover the general shape of what he's going to do. He's going to go in and obviously do more detail. Yeah. But he's been doing it with paintbrush, which is interesting.
Very impressive.
Thank you. It means quite a lot. I will, of course, await you to return to your training before I continue the painting. But if you'll excuse me, I require a nice aperitif. I will talk to you later, sir. And does a little bow and excuses himself.
Yeah, and I'll head over to the other guy.
Yep. He has nothing on his canvas. He's just been staring at it. And he barely even notices you there. There's like a slight flicker of the eye as he regards you and just looks back at the canvas.
And I'll be like, how's it coming along?
I'm still seeing.
Excellent.
What did he say? I'm still.
Seeing. I'm still seeing.
He's visualizing.
He's visionary.
He's going to be amazing.
He's going to be amazing.
No, he's going to draw like a stick figure.
He actually then blinks a few times and looks up at you and goes, sorry, sir, can I help you?
Oh, I didn't mean to disturb you in any way. I just wanted to see if everything was coming along well.
Yes, quite well. One must see the picture before one paints the picture, of course.
Exactly.
I've always been quite impressed with your fighting style. I've been visualizing the way in which I wish to portray you, but I cannot find a stance in which I think shows your true form.
Was there anything you want me to do in the ring?
I want you only to be yourself. I must see the clay to mold the clay. But if you'll indulge me a moment, I would like you to perhaps challenge Jacque for a bout or two, so I could see the true moment of combat and how that affects you. That would be incredibly useful.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And yeah, he just goes back to staring at the canvas.
I'll wander over to Jacques' tent.
He's actually in a heated argument with someone at this point. And it's an elvish man who looks rather thin and is wearing silky silver robes with sort of green ermine furs. It's like it's almost like a ruffle.
Yeah, I'll stop if there's someone there.
It's a little. You can't quite hear what they're saying, but
I don't plan to. A gentleman never listens to another man's conversations.
Right. The argument continues for at least a good 5 minutes, and then
That attitude's going to get you punched in the head by a statue at some point.
Jesus. Just fucking hit him below the belt, then stab him, huh? Twist the knife.
Fucking hell.
Yes, so Jacque exits the tent and almost doesn't see you. He's so intent to going through the training ground, but he obviously does catch you and he goes, "Oh, it is you. What do you want?"
Oh, I was wondering if you'd like to do some sparring before the fight, just for the crowds.
Do you think that is a good idea? Do you think our promoters will allow this such thing?
Should we care? I mean, I don't plan on hurting you before the fight.
Trust me, monsieur, you will not hurt me.
As I was saying, I don't plan on hurting you, and I don't imagine you're planning on hurting me. To spar. Friendly bout.
Well, we'll meet you in a moment, but you must allow me, of course, to warm up and
absolutely.
Have a quick nip.
Absolutely.
So I will see you in 5 minutes, yes?
Wonderful.
Do try to actually connect your hits this time. And then he transfers off to one of the barrels at the back of the pavilion, where he actually gets a large ladle out and actually pours himself what looks like a goblet of wine and quickly downs that.
A ladle of wine.
Yes.
That is a good measurement of wine. That is a man that you want 7 or 8 ladles of later to fight.
Okay, so back at the pavilion, now that you've all done your thing, Jacque has finished his routine, which has involved a lot of stretches, a lot of calisthenic style stuff, and has basically wrapped his fists and is flexing, and has stepped into the ring with you and proceeded to basically move the training equipment out the way.
I'll help him sort of move it out.
Yep. The gentleman who was staring at the canvas has actually started watching you guys. Are you ready for this, sir?
I'll extend my hand out
And he reaches out and sort of
just give him a firm sort of...
He barely touches your hand, he just sort of clasps it for a moment.
I go... like, gentlemanly, of course, but...
he's just... whatever. Come on, then, you... And he doesn't seem quite on kilter.
Yeah.
His form is very loose compared to the last time you fought him. Because, come on, let us begin. And let's roll initiative.
Sure. That's a 1. That's not good.
Well, I rolled a 17, so...
Yeah, so you...
Yeah.
I get a +5 to it.
But regardless.
Yes.
All right. So Jacque just throws a jab. What's your AC again?
19.
Well, I rolled that one dice. So he immediately throws a left hook and immediately cracks you in the side of the face. 3 points of damage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened to I'm not going to hurt you?
He goes, come on, you think you can do better than that, huh? Come on, get your blood up. Where's your fighting spirit?
Okay. I will throw my first punch.
Yeah.
And that's only a 5. So +7. So 12.
Nah, I'm not going to hit.
Yep.
You throw a punch and he easily darts to the left.
And then use my next attack.
Sure.
And that's a 1, so I miss again. Anyway, so yeah, next one.
So you throw your punch and it throws you a little bit off kilter.
Yep.
He immediately rejoins and... Oops, sorry, what was your AC again?
19.
So yeah, he throws a jab at your head and it breezes past, but it would easily have been a knockout blow and you know it would have been.
Yep.
And your turn?
Sure. So again, 14.
And total?
14 total.
Yeah. No, doesn't
Nope.
hit.
Again, my second attack.
Sure.
That's better. That's an 18 +7.
Yeah, so you throw a punch, a right hook, but it's a feint, and you crack him in the face with the left hook follow-up.
For 6 points of damage.
6 points?
Yep.
Yeah. And there you are, huh? Gentlemen, come on. Take you down. He winds up a punch and misses.
Yep.
But he follows up with a secondary attack and actually cracks you side of the head. So again, feint and a jab.
Yep.
And does 6 points of damage to you.
Yep. Well, that's me. Well, it puts me to 0. So obviously there's medics and stuff. I'm not going to die. But
he just does a playful tap and you go
that's
down.
not a playful fucking
But
tap.
no.
But
To the point where the fight's over and he sort of hops back and reaches down because you have to do a lot better than that if you expect to beat me in the big fight, huh?
yeah, and I'll sort of reach up and
You got a good blow on me this time, huh? But next time, I'll not let you do that.
I look forward to it, sir.
I see you on the day. And he turns around and he sort of squares off. The fighter, the painter just sort of looks at you and goes,
I was going to say, so when, Jacque picks me up, I'll step the rope, just step the rope for him.
Oh, yeah,
on his
sure.
way out. I'm a gentleman, so I'll step the rope so he can get out and just get straight back into training.
But the painter immediately starts work on his canvas. Did you want to do anything? Just continue training?
Yeah, I'll
You don't want
continue.
to look at that. He's drawing Jacque.
It's fun. But yeah, I'll continue training and, but a bit more intent.
All right. Half an hour later, George actually returns and immediately notices that you've been injured. So you've got a big welt.
Yep.
Hang on, he goes, what the hell are you doing?
Training. Me and Jacque had a
But you're not supposed to fight before the big fight. Why did he agree?
Because why I don't.
You know what? Enough. Just go put some ice on that. Try and reduce the swelling. We gotta get into the signing of the autograph. I can't believe you just. You know what? That's fine. Whatever. You're the man. I trust your instincts, but I'm
sort of. I'll pull him close and go. His form's sloppy.
George's immediate demeanor sort of changes a bit like a sly. You were fucking with him. I like this. This is my boy. So what, you think you got the good inside track on him?
We'll see. I don't imagine that he was putting everything into the fight, but he definitely doesn't have the form that he did.
Ah, you clever son of a bitch. I love this guy. And he goes, slaps your pack, and he's like, get into that tent, get that swelling down. We're going to sign some autographs. And I just found out we're going to have some fireworks again tonight. It's going to be beautiful. You ready for this, kid? This is the beginning of your comeback.
Remember, this was a one-off. I'm not...
Oh, yeah, sure. It's fine. That's fine. I believe you. But trust me, once you win this one and you ride that high, you'll be begging me to set up other fixes.
Okay.
So Din-Din's at the Scarlet Rose.
I'll go.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go.
I would have tried to find out more about Dupont, so I'm going to go too.
I don't trust this guy.
Cool.
In any way, shape, or form.
That's all right, but you've got a job.
No problem.
We'll meet back at the same place. We'll fill you in.
You arrive at the Scarlet Rose. It's actually a 2-story establishment. It's not too far away from Chevalier du Coq. You've actually got a private suite upstairs, which has a nice balcony overlooking the street. It doesn't smell quite as strong of shit here, but it's still pretty pungent.
Oh, look, it's nice. It doesn't smell nearly as much of poo.
There are a number of young elven women serving, and Dupont has probably been there for at least an hour. He actually looks a little bit sozzled, like he's been drinking. Friends, please come and join me.
Oh, my friends
Come and
now.
come and avail yourselves of the food.
Punch, hello.
My dear Abella de Rosier, it's such a pleasure to see you again. And Captain Rhylind Westfall, beautiful. And of course you, Skairn. And that's all.
Am I not beautiful as well?
Oh, you are ravishing.
I indicate to one of the lovely elven wenches, a rum, please, my dear.
And she dashes out the room. You must excuse me. I have been drinking with a very old friend of mine this afternoon, and he has told me some very interesting things.
Yeah?
Now, I must ask the lovely ladies here to just please quickly leave the room for 5 minutes. Tell a lovely lady who's bringing the rum for my friend Skairn. Where is our friend Nezor?
He has a job, I'm afraid. He'll be back with us. He's continuing possibly to come with us, but the man is working.
Very important job. He sends his regards.
Oh, excellent. It's such a lovely man.
Definitely not anything else.
Now, so, how would you all like to make a lot of money?
Well, always making lots of money. Nice idea. Yeah.
Well, you see, my friend has a rather ambitious plan, and it involves match fixing, I suppose. Have you heard of a gentleman called Charlie Roughhouse?
Nine. Never heard of the man.
He is a wonderful fighter.
Yeah.
He is the Erhart's best man for an upcoming fight. However, he is severely outclassed in his competition. But that is good for us because, as it would seem, if we bet on him and he wins, we all make money. Which is a very good outcome for all of us. So, I was speaking to this particular friend, and he suggested that perhaps we do something to create an opportunity for our friend Charlie to beat this Jacque fellow, and bring pride to the Erhart name, and bring money to all our coin purses. And what do you say?
How on earth are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to do that. I think you must understand the proposition. You see, I will be contracting you to do this.
So we have to work out how to make Charlie Roughhouse win.
Absolutely.
What would be...
Now, Mr. Skairn, I know that you had a passing and continuing interest in your sister. The thing that you have to understand is that, of course, that information costs, if not money, then other information. So my plan to, of course, bring more intelligence, as it were, to the fault so you understand what's happening, is to make a person who has this knowledge incredibly filthy rich. So obviously it would behoove you to problem solve this for us.
You do not have the knowledge, you do not have the information yourself.
I broker information. Now, to do so, I of course have to pay or arrange for, opportunities to arise. This is one such opportunity, and I believe it is the quickest way for you to expedite the process. He is very red in the face and is swaying slightly in his chair. But perhaps we should all have a lovely meal, socialize, talk amongst one another, and then perhaps at the end of the evening, we can discuss an arrangement. Madams, if you'll come in and please serve these lovely people, I would love a lovely. What was it you were having, Scan, dear?
The rum.
The rum. Is there any more rum?
Why is the rum always gone?
Too many sailors.
Ryland's not drinking, by the way. Ryland's staying stone cold sober.
Fair enough.
Scan
the
is
drink.
taking the other route and getting really drunk.
I'll take the middle route and have a few drinks. Maybe get a little fuzzy,
I'm making
but not
friends.
Dupree.
Yeah. It's a very luxurious meal. It's all like roast boar, love all the trimmings. Delicious. Nezor. Hey. You're currently
Playing
cocking about.
jazz.
Playing jazz.
Progressive jazz.
Roll me a
Sure it's
performance roll, will you please? Just
If it's any multiple of 4, then it's jazz.
Nat 20.
It is jazz.
Plus 5.
Oh, beautiful.
Bring the
Progressive
house
jazz.
down.
All right, you actually need to do something here to entertain it. Here we are now, entertain us. Introduce your act and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I come out onto the stage. I'm assuming this bar isn't totally
There's a
full of
raised
this.
area near the stage,
Yeah.
near the bar.
Yeah. So I come out. I am in full costume.
So
Rough makeup. Everything. Still in my pocket of 100.
Your vest. Yeah.
Vest of 100
100
pockets.
pockets.
Not pocket of 100 vests.
Oh, that would be a much better idea.
Oh, just pick a colour.
And I strum the deepest, darkest chord
On your lips.
possible. And start, I guess, what the deepest kind of Gregorian chant that a little halfling can make before going into what can only be described as shitty but amazing slam poetry.
Give us some Sam poetry.
We might have to have some thought behind
Yeah,
it.
like
maybe
this
maybe
is-
write some for next time
Yeah.
and record it then.
Yeah.
Death, death and blood, blood and death.
Would you say this pub is more Erhart or
Bachenaux.
Bachenaux inclined?
Bit of a mix. There are a lot. Tonight there are actually quite a lot of young people in there, which is probably why you're received so well.
My idea would then be to do what I would like to do would be to try and stir up the crowd with something.
You rolled a fucking. You've rolled a nat 20. Just fucking go for it.
Stir up the crowd with
Milton Keynes!
something to do with the fight. I would hope not to get the crowd
Do
fighting
you want to
against
have a
each
moment
other.
to think about it, and then we'll come back to you?
It would be I am not a lyricist. I am not someone who.
No, but do you want to just spin some shit off the
I,
dome?
however, do write performance poetry.
Of course you do.
I wrote
I
a 2-minute
think-
beat poem entitled.
Okay, so it's a wonderful recital, and everyone loves it, but it's all because it's their young people. And the barman looks across and sort of is like,
Hell yeah.
this is not at all what I expected, but people like it, so all right.
But yeah, get the crowd going with something boxing related, and then cast Mage Hand to get just a beat, like just a single note going
On your
my
beat.
guitar
so
while I like perform and get everyone going.
Okay, so you're using your mage hand to strum your guitar. That's pretty
Yeah,
rad.
just the single deepest, what would it be, E string to just go like a drum kick, and get everyone kind of chanting and getting their side and who they want. So that Charlie, Jacque, Charlie in time with the beat.
Nice. Charlie, did you have any plans for the evening? You've been signing autographs all morning, or afternoon, while the painters have been furiously finishing their work.
Well, I would go see the painters again, see their finished work after the fight.
Yep. Emil's work is... Who's the fop? His work is very standard, I suppose, of the style, but it is quite empowering. Whereas the other painter, whose name you actually didn't grab, has actually drawn a almost like a tableau style picture of you and Jacque's arms clasped, and you're looking at each other in the eye, and it is very bold, broad brushstrokes. It is sort of impressionistic, as Josh was saying, but there is an element behind it that is something that brings the picture to life. There is almost an energy behind both Jacque and yourself.
What is happening with these paintings?
They're basically being used, as Gorgeous George explains to you, they're effectively being auctioned.
Oh, fuck.
But Emile has done one of you and one of Jacque, whereas this other painter has only done one of both of you. So there are 3 paintings. There is planned to be like a big fair the next day, again, where you get to walk through the crowd and talk to people, etc., etc. But they're going to do a large auction of these artwork pieces.
I'm going to congratulate both of them. Say it.
Thank you, monsieur. Of course, I have money on the Thunderclap because no offense to you, monsieur, but you are, how you say, the inferior fighter. But I wish you best of luck, and I am, of course, privileged to create your likeness on the canvas.
I appreciate your honesty. I do hope you don't lose too much money.
I like your style, sir.
And then I'm going to move over to the other guy.
He is just hacking a dart at this point. He's not even looking at his canvas.
Yeah, and I'm just going to be like, that's incredible.
It's a piece of shit.
Oh, yes. Tortured souls. It's
I could do much better than that, but...
Well, I kind of want that, but, I can't
have to pay for it.
I know. I do appreciate your effort. I am very much impressed.
He turns around and he extends a hand and goes, I don't think you'll win, but best of luck.
I appreciate the sentiment. And yeah.
If you ever need a painter, you'll know where I am. Talk to Mr. George. He doesn't actually have a hat, but he doffs what would be a hat, and then collects his painting gear and is again smoking as he leaves.
And yeah, I'll be like, best of luck, thank you.
And just sort of waves over his shoulder.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a drink of water and warm down, cool down, just stretch.
Nice. Yep. And then go back to the house that they'd put aside for you. All right, cool. So the dinner is winding down. Dupree has been talking animatedly about Oreme's history, about how the Erhart took half of it under the skein of night, and it was a great and glorious battle to reclaim half this thing. And it was very clever how they all did it, but such a shame that the opposite commander had sort of outwitted them at the last second, so they didn't get the whole city, etc., etc. It's like I said, it's been a lot of drink, a lot of rum had come through, a lot of wine. The girls have been very flirty to yourself, Skairn, and to Dupont. It's been a very lively meal, I guess is the best way to describe it. But then Dupont sort of goes, gentlemen and ladies, ladies, I believe now is the time to speak of plans, etc. Ladies, if you will be so kind as to leave us to our devices for at least half an hour, but please do bring desserts and your delicious ports if you have any. Wonderful. They disappear.
I always like to make port.
Yes, I do too, sir. Ladies, would you like anything in particular to round off your meals before dessert?
Quite satisfied, thank you.
Thanks, I've got my wine.
Angela, is Abella just completely repulsed about everything that's happening?
Not Pulse, more like mildly confused and just like, what?
I don't get it.
And I just don't trust this guy.
Yeah. Well, like, this is lovely, but why
There's
am I
no
here?
reason to, I don't trust him either, but
You're drunk, scared.
why look at gift horse in the throat?
How do you feel about my proposition? Understanding that, of course, it is time sensitive, and if you do not wish to partake, I will, of course, be forced to find others.
Yeah. Look, at this point, my feeling is I am interested in the money aspect. I am interested in the information aspect. The aspect I am confused on is we are, I hate to say the word humble, but we are mercenaries, yeah. I have no idea how one would go about rigging a fight. Therein lies the problem. And you may not know this either. Yeah. This is all good. The problem is now that we don't know how to do what you want us to do. You give us 2 days to do the thing. I would have to say no. I would be perhaps interested in betting. If you can find someone who can effectively rig the fight, I will help you throw money into the purse and be
Dupree,
getting
sorry,
more.
may we have a moment to talk about this privately amongst ourselves? Just so we can...
Of course, my dear. He stands
We'll
up and
see
sort
you
of...
very soon, dear.
Of course. I will perhaps decamp to the lavatory and return post-haste. Good day. And he stands up and he wobbles out of the room.
What a slimy, obsequious...
I'm sure there's poisons that don't kill people.
Well, 9, we know you actually to throw a fight. All you need to do is
You had
talk to
poison,
the
you
guy
could-
you want to take to throw the fight. But
I mean, we could just drug him. Or get him really drunk the night before, knock him about a bit, and then throw him out.
this guy is a prize fighter.
Well, I'm not saying
Yeah,
I'm
all
sure-
right, yeah.
I'm wildly gesturing to the dragon lady we haven't
Okay, I just
Yeah,
say I
no,
was
but when he shows up to the fight with claw marks all over him the following morning, I'm just like, whilst I'm not doubting in any way Ryland's
explain that in other
ability to.
ways.
Yeah, I was going to say, there are ways to
Did
explain
you
that.
just hook up with him? Nine. This is not. At this point, this is
I
not.
have to be promised a very good payday to seduce that man.
I'm not throwing the. I'm not. This was her. Look.
I was saying seduce him.
Sorry, just to interject. What's everyone's passive perception?
Passive perception.
So what's your bonus to
9.
hit?
15.
15? Yeah. You hear it.
What?
What's your bonus to hear?
What's your perception?
Perception's 3?
So plus
13.
10, 13.
Yeah.
13.
And what's your perception?
9.
9. Skairn and Abella here are sort of chanting down the street.
Is it him?
And it sounds vaguely like words. Charlie, Jacque, Charlie, Jacque,
Oh God, who
Charlie, Jacque,
Is that to the tune of a lute?
Jacque.
What's happening?
He's the Pied Piper of soccer hooligans.
You actually peer over the balcony and you can see that a crowd has emerged from the Chevalier du Coq, and it's actually carrying Nezor, who's strumming on his guitar, and they're all chanting. And many of them are either Charlie supporters or Jacque supporters, but they're all chanting the same rhythm, and they're carrying him off towards the triangle.
Shall we
do
make sure
something?
he's okay?
I think he's okay.
You hear more chanting coming from up the street as well.
Oh,
They've
Lord.
heard that.
Oh dear, this. I don't know if we can do anything about this.
Shall we just follow to see if he's okay?
Nine.
They
Yet.
seem very happy.
Really, just leave the guy. If he's rolled a 20 to get himself into this, he can roll another fucking 20 to get himself out of it. Could we? Take star power Nezor and say, hey, Jacque, you want to not have this fight or die, possibly?
I don't think it'll be that easy.
I can't imagine it would be. And this is my problem. This is what I was
just
saying.
don't see it happening.
I don't know how you would convince Jacque, of all people, to throw the fight when he's pretty confident he will win.
Everyone certainly seems to.
Because when it comes down to it, it is you are convincing the prize fighter to lose the fight.
He
You
he'll
can
make
get his-
a
you
lot
can-
of money by winning it, too.
Yeah.
It's not like we can say,
We can't promise him a lot of money either, unless he puts everything on him. This is not something
Well, we could just size him up and
There are
see.
other
Or we could say we'll do it, then put all our money on Jacque. Because, as I've said many times, I don't like this.
I sort of like that actually.
Well, look, I'm not particularly committed to any.
Or we could just say we'll do it, not bet either way, and then just see how this pans out.
The problem is then we piss off a guy who might.
This is the thing. Dupree has been a fairly good source of employment for us so
Well,
far.
he was one job, had a big go at us about how well we'd done it. Our friend died. Well, the guy we knew for a day had died, and we were all very upset.
Yeah, but where have we gotten money
You guys
from
were all
anywhere
very
else?
upset.
He's
I'm
not...
sure there is other employment in the city.
Dupont has enemies.
Yeah, but so I'm going to go on a limb and say that so do all of we.
9.
Well, fine, it's all good for you. Apparently you don't have ill-advised sex.
I do. I just don't make a point of having it with people who can bite me back. I just don't see how we'd accomplish it.
Okay.
It just...
But I also don't want to piss him off by saying, yeah, sure, we'll do this.
And then not doing. Okay, fair enough.
I
Shall
don't
we
see
just
any
say...
particular mileage in telling him that we will and then don't.
Agreed.
Except to fuck with him.
Well, yeah.
Let's
I mean,
not
yeah.
burn our bridges here, though.
Yeah, there's no reason to burn the bridges. There's no reason to piss the dude off. He still has information on my sister. This is my guiding star on this one.
But the thing is, how are you going to get that information if we don't do this?
Well, yeah, but I'm sure there are other ways to pay the dude for the information.
So the upshot is this: is we're saying thanks, but no thanks.
Dupont enters
Okay.
the room and he's got a washcloth in his hand and he's rubbing his hands and he hands it to one of the ladies. at
Oh,
the
they've
door.
come back in, have they?
No, they're at the door.
Oh, yeah.
And then walks in and goes, so, what do you fellows think?
Yeah, I believe, as I was saying earlier, our issue is not so much. Now, I feel you may be barking up the wrong tree.
My good man, let me explain a few things to begin with.
Please do.
I'm interested.
Obviously, the first job that you were contracted to do was not the most satisfactory on all our behalfs.
No.
You felt...
Mind you, I did get to kill an old man. I enjoyed it.
Scared. Ignore him. Please continue.
Of course. See, I would not consider that a positive, but
No,
of course,
but would
if you do,
anybody
that is
else?
your business.
I carried that man down a hill.
We carried that man down a hill.
You carried a tiefling.
I fail... sorry,
yeah.
I'm sorry, a tiefling?
9. It's none of your
No.
business.
You carry a tiefling. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
We didn't
should
mention the
carry-
tiefling earlier? 9.
No.
Don't worry.
There was an unconscious tiefling in the front hall.
He doesn't have
Yeah.
any shoes now.
We just found him, and we
We
thought
robbed
carried
him
him
first,
out.
don't worry.
Yeah.
He was in the place, unconscious, and we robbed him, and we left him behind in bush. Yes, he was unconscious.
I'm sorry. I think actually this was it. I'm sorry.
It's just a
all
tiefling.
the-
We found him, and we put him outside.
We think we should leave him in there in case
So
those
this
things came back alive.
tiefling was obviously the boy of the Manu
Oh,
fellow,
Lord.
or
What?
was he in the employ of the Manu fellow?
Given he was unconscious, that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, couldn't tell you. He could have been. We could have just transported him quite outside, left him behind a bush.
You will have to forgive me because
Of course,
quite
Dupree.
frankly, find the fact that you are describing a tiefling in a place where I would suspect there would be a tiefling.
We were also a bit surprised. Yes,
It's very odd.
very odd.
Very odd.
Very, especially the unconscious thing.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Yes.
You are all
Very
talking
strange.
rather fast, and quite frankly, you are arousing my suspicions. So I will ask you very clearly and very plainly, this tiefling fellow, what was his name, and what was his relationship to you? And he seems quite pointed on this fact.
How can we have a
tell you.
relationship with an unconscious man? Well, don't
Well,
answer
that was
question.
that was the relationship, I suppose. We found him and he was
We dragged him out
unconscious.
of
So
the
you're
building
trying
and
to
dumped him in
bluff
the
your way
bush.
out of this?
Yeah.
Roll me some bluff die.
God damn it.
So deception, please.
Plus 2, 12.
19. We're trying to bluff our way out of it because someone mentioned a tiefling.
But we were trying to rob the place, and then we meet another tiefling who's also in there.
So
Shut up! He's unconscious and we don't know his name or anything about him. No.
Yeah,
So, as I understand, there was a tiefling who may or may not have been unconscious.
we're fairly certain he was. I mean, he didn't move when we picked him up.
He didn't object to me robbing him either.
Yeah, we did rob him.
I quite like that, but no. I will require a revisement of the last contract's outcome as a result of this new information that has come to light. Thank you. Whomever wishes to speak.
We found an unconscious tiefling in the hall and we decided to take him with us because it felt a bit rude to leave him there when there were things trying to kill us.
And also we
anything
wanted
in the building that was actively alive, the things were trying to kill, so we removed him.
And also we were trying to rob him and we didn't have time to do it then, so we thought it would be beneficial to move him so we could rob him somewhere safer.
We dumped him in a bush in the hill. He's fine.
Yeah, it was mutually beneficial to everyone. I mean, I assume
Except for him.
I assume he didn't want to die, which might have happened.
Yeah, no, he probably would have been fine otherwise.
I got a 19, by the way.
I know, but
So you believe me?
roll me. No, he's more inclined to believe you. Roll me a deception dice, please, Scan.
Then don't speak.
Shut up, we're working on this.
You guys always go for the lie when I always go for the truth, and it's just like, honestly, it's not a problem.
Yes, it is.
Fine, what is...
He'll kill him.
4, there you are.
Oh my god. Don't speak.
+2, 6.
Scan.
I
believe now is the time to be honest with one another. Scan, Rhylind, and Abella. I consider you, of course, all valuable assets and potential collaborators in this venture moving
That's
forward.
nice of you to say.
However, I cannot operate under the pretense of a lie, so I would like it if you could so very kindly please explain to me what the fuck you are talking about when you mention a tiefling in the wizard's tower. I would very much appreciate honesty.
There was a tiefling trying to rob the tower. We meet him in the tower. He got no further than we did. In the fight at the end, he gets knocked out. We take him out. We throw him on the ground. We leave him in a bush. He knows not what we came to get. He knows not why we came to get it. He only knows that we were there, and he is no more inclined to tell anybody that we were there than he would be inclined to admit that he was there. He was there for the same reason. Well, he was there to rob the place, same as we were, but he was not there to take what you were sent us to take. He does not know what that thing was. There is no reason. This is why I was like, why are we even having this conversation? There is no reason to lie to you about it. Nothing came of this. That's why we did not tell you. It was not relevant or pertinent. Going forward, however, I think the three of us have reached the mutual agreement that we do not really see how what you would be wanting us to achieve could be achieved by us. You would really be looking for specialists in the area of prize fight fixing, which I'm certain you could acquire in the city, but we are, as I would say before, humble mercenaries, really, on this case. Short of seducing the man, one of the three of us,
And damaging him.
or possibly damaging him in some way. We do not see how you could necessarily guarantee the outcome of the fight if you're not confident in the abilities of your Charlie Roughhouse. He seems a fairly statuesque figure on my account. It would be unfair to lead you up the garden path, as it were, that we would be able to accomplish what you were wanting, when we are not rightly certain even how. If you do not have indicators as to how. However, that being said, I would remind you that successful completion of your previous task, the agreed payment was 100 gold crowns, plus any information you had regarding my sister.
Yes. However, that was an additional agreement and was entirely predisposed towards whether or not you complete
You've lied
the
and
task.
withheld payment. We have done exactly what we would agree to do. You have not done what you have agreed to do. We agreed that we would take the thing and leave the thing. We did exactly those things. You agreed that you would give us 100 gold coins each. You failed to do also the other information giving, which you said you would when we agreed originally. Nothing has happened here. I am angry because you are refusing payment, not because we are not continuing our working relationship. If you have no further agents in the city with which you could finish off whatever jobs you want, then you need to find new servants. These people that you are expecting us to be, we are not these people. I am getting angry. He is denying me the payment to which he agreed he would.
As I said to
One way or the other, little man, you will be dead if you do not provide me the information you will get. Oh, I want to kill him. I want to kill him so much.
Don't kill
Maybe
him.
just hurt him a little
No.
bit.
Oh, yeah, well, no, because then he might not help us.
He probably won't.
Well, now he won't.
I'm getting angry. He is denying me the payment to which he agreed he would. Shall we kill him now, please?
Mr. Skairn, your sister is currently in the custody of a group known as the Circle of the Dragon. If you must know, that's where your sister is. She is a willing devotee of a cult. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other matters to attend to. However, I will encourage you to reconsider my offer should you change your mind. Now, I can be found in the Scarlet Rose until the end of the week, at which point I have business elsewhere. I consider our business done unless you wish to accompany me further.
I'm fine with leaving it here. How about you, ladies?
I'm leaving.
Dankeschön for that snippet of information. And I leave as well.
Thank you, Mr. Dupont. And I leave.
Oh, that was good. I really want to go back and kill him. I know you don't want me to, but I really want to kill him.
Because there's reasons not to.
Why? What reasons not to?
All of the ones he mentioned.
What? If he's dead, he can't make them happen.
In the background, Charlie!
With my mage hand.
With your mage hand.
So the cult of the dragon, that's the best thing I've heard in a while.
Does anyone else feel like we should pay a courtesy call to Charlie Roughhouse before we get the hell out of this
Let
town?
people know that anyone's trying to rig the fight.
Well, if they're going to rig it, then he's going to rig it in his favour. So what's the point?
Doesn't hurt to talk to him.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't hurt to not talk to him as well.
I'd watch the fight. I mean, we're here. We may as well.
So what are your plans for the next couple of hours? Just each of you, and then I'll go to Charlie.
I'm going to go and check out that bathhouse. I hear Tiffany's lovely.
Very good with their hands.
Good, good.
I'm just going to go to bed.
Okay. And where are you staying at? The Chevalier du Coq?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which will be nice and quiet now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm seeing where this adventure takes me.
All right. I'll have to roll some dice for that. Okay. So, Charlie.
Yes.
It's about 9 p.m. at night. You had a lovely supper, and you've been left to your own devices. Gorgeous George has had a real big chat with you, talking about the next couple of days, about how you're going to compose yourself in public. He's very excited about how it's all going to turn out.
And usually I do the same as what I do when he goes on these spills, which is drink my tea and pretend to listen.
Yeah. He's like, you're going to be great. First of all, you're going to flex your muscles. Everyone's going to love it. Then you'll sign some autographs. Then we'll get you down by the bay. We'll get you lifting some of the big cargo, showing them how strong you are, how big you are. And then that Pensy Jacque, he's not going to have a single thing on you, brother. It's going to be beautiful. Beautiful. So after a couple of hours of that, you shoot him away to retire for the evening. And I assume you're settling in for bed?
Oh, I'd have my, evening push-ups, chin-ups,
Yeah.
all the like.
You've got your little, your shoulder, your bar
Yeah.
to do all that sort of stuff with. What's your passive perception?
16.
16? You hear what sounds like a lock being jimmied at the back of the house.
Okay, well, I stand up.
So, to give you an idea of the floor plan, there's a rather large I would describe it as a kitchenette that moved into like a lounge room, and then the living quarters are upstairs. The back room has a corridor that leads into like a small wash house, and then has a back door on it.
So where the back door is, because the candles would still be lit.
Yeah.
I'll stand, so they walk through the door and I'll be standing in the hallway with the candles sort of flickering behind me, just staring at the door.
Sure. And then you hear the door click and open up, and there appears to be several figures lined up sort of outside, and they're all muttering to themselves under their breath. You're not trying to be stealthy in any way, are you?
Oh, no, I am standing there lit by the candles staring at them.
Yeah. The first fellow opens the door and steps into the room and doesn't actually seem to notice you.
I'm going to go, gentlemen, I assume you're not here for the tea.
The shadow just... Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Roughhouse. Some fellows and I were just... Nezor. And he just turns to the front. And a halfling is sort of pushed to the front, and he's sitting there with a lute and a sheepish look on his face, I assume.
I assume you're Charlie?
I'd say it's a pleasure, but...
I was carried here. I played the guitar. That's about it.
One of the large louts that actually picked the lock takes his hat, puts it at his chest, and sort of grasps both sides and goes, Mr. Roughhouse, I apologise for the intrusion. Mr. Nezor here was playing a jolly song, and we really got quite worked up with it, but we would love to invite you out for a night on the town. We had actually planned to, I'm sorry to say this, but abduct you and present to you the largest flagon in the town and see how you could skull, but we would be most chuffed if you could accompany us.
I'm looking around at them like they're the biggest bunch of idiots ever, but...
Shut up. As honoured as I am for that offer, I have a very busy day tomorrow. But if you do come to the signings, I'll give you a signature for free.
Oh, fine. Mr. Roughhouse, that's a right honour. Mr. Nezor, we played this gentleman a song that you were playing for us in the old tavern, and Mr. Roughhouse, you have to listen to this. We were down at the Chevalier de Coq, and it's one of the best songs I've ever heard.
How many of you boys are there?
There is 16 of us all in our accompaniment, sir.
Going to fit in here. Oh, come on.
Aww.
16 rough-looking lads,
That's
and Nezor all sort of
Into the front room.
So do you guys want the my dark song or your boxing song?
Play the boxing song.
Right. So I look at Charlie, cast Mage Hand, kind of. I'm trying to think the mechanics of it. So how big is Mage Hand? My question really is, can Mage Hand be holding the guitar while strumming with the thumb?
It's the size of a hand, and I believe you can hold 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So it should be enough to hold. If you're holding the other end of the lute, you should...
So I hold the guitar up with one hand, point at them all, get Mage Hand to strum.
Yeah.
Just the one note, and start the Charlie Roughhouse instead of Charlie Jacque.
Yeah.
To really, pump it up to him, and kind of start it low, and kind of at some point everyone else and get it kind of raising up and up and up.
Yeah. Everyone in this room is very clearly very intoxicated. And they're all, Charlie Roughhouse, Charlie Roughhouse. And at some point, someone throws a punch at someone else or hits them in the face as they're pumping their fists. And in turn, they start to actually have a bit of a Barney.
I'll be like, boys.
I step away. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Roughhouse, a bit of high spirits. But you declare to show us that right cross that you did the other day.
Sure, take a step back.
It's a little up against the walls of the room.
I put my guitar down and kind of have my Mage Hand just sitting there in that position for him to,
Okay.
Shadow box, okay. Cool.
I'll sort of like throw a couple of warm-up punches and then, that heavy right straight into the hand.
Oh, that's brilliant, that is.
And then I'll hold the pose, throw him a smile, and then go...
and just flex. Everyone is incredibly enthralled. And someone pushes a pint into your hand.
Oh, I mustn't drink.
Go on, Mr. Roughhouse.
And I'll neck the beer.
Come on, lads. It's time for a pub crawl.
I'll hand the pint to the guy and be like, stay safe. Don't break anything. I want to see you all at the fights.
Mr. Roughhouse, come with us. You'll love it. We're going to hit every pub between here and the bridge.
I absolutely would love to, but I'm afraid I can't.
Are you going to do anything on this one, or?
I'm kind of just following these crazy guys
As
because
they
I'm worried
leave-
if I do anything they don't like, it's going to end badly for me.
I'm going to reach, as they leave, reach down, because I imagine you would file out after them.
Yeah, hesitantly.
Place my hand on your shoulder and just sort of go, keep them out of trouble, Nezor.
I'll do my best, sir. Good luck.
And just,
All right.
lock the door, put a chair against it.
Great. All right. So I assume everyone just goes back to their relative domiciles for the evening after the heavy night. Nezor stumbles in at some time at past 2.
Is Rose there?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. What about Tiffany?
Well, you went straight to the bathhouse, so Tiffany's there. I mean, if you wanted to make a move on her, that's up to you.
Let's leave that to the storyteller's imagination.
He plowed her.
No.
Wait, shouldn't I be the one that rolls that dice?
She's high class, you're ocean scum.
I want to go talk to Charlie. I want to go talk to Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so the next day dawns. Charlie is out shaking hands with the Great Unwashed. I assume one of you, like Keren, I assume Rhylind would like to have a quick chat with him.
Yes, but I'm going to wait for these guys to appear to see if any of them want to come with.
You're all staying at the Chevrolet du Coq as
Yep.
far as I'm concerned.
So
you're
I go
all right.
downstairs, Rose brings me some breakfast, and I wait for the rest of them to turn up.
Yeah. You're served again by Rose, who is quite chipper this morning. The fellow who was turning...
Does she smell of sweat, anger, and or shame?
No. Absolutely not. The Hrosh has been antsy all night.
Oh.
Yeah. The sort of the residual anger that you guys had has sort of harshed his calm somewhat. So he spent most of the night pacing, little gouts of flame. So you're awoken to the smell of.
Oddly, his feelings mirror my own.
So you're awoken to the smell of bacon and other breakfast bits, and.
Welcome to McDonald's. Would you like the breakfast bits tray?
It's literally the shit that's left over, like, in a box. Like, oh, look! I got,
Ooh,
like,
breakfast bits.
I got, like,
It's
half
bacon horns.
There's, like, some bits of bacon. There's, like, half a fucking hash brown, an unmade muffin.
So you're all served breakfast except for Nezor, who's currently asleep and apparently sleeping off a hangover. Charlie, you're early to rise and you work out. And Gorgeous George meets you in the morning. He seems a little deflated, but a little bit chipper still. He's like, "It's gonna be a great day, champ. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna enthrall the crowds. We're gonna build your presence up, and then we'll have this fight, and everything will be gravy. You'll see." Yep. All right. All right. I will see you out there, champ. And he throws the 2 fingers at you and sort of does that.
I give him the nod, like.
Right. And he scurries out the back. Why have you got a chair against the door?
Because boxing hooligans broke into my house last night.
What do you mean they broke in? They got through the line?
They broke in through the back door.
I'll have a talk to the guards. This won't happen again. I'm sorry, champ.
It's perfectly fine.
I'm gonna get them Bachenaux bastards a good ear bashing.
Nobody needs to lose their job.
No, absolutely they need to lose their job, champ. No. This is a complete breach of security. I'll take care of this. Don't you worry about it. And he just sort of fobs off. Nezor, I assume you were awake at some point and you're...
Yeah, I'm thinking about like almost lunchtime. Not quite lunchtime, but almost lunchtime. Are these guys still around, or have they?
Well, we need to have a discussion about that. Have some more bacon, dear.
Nom nom.
Rose comes up to the table and goes, "And where is Mr. Nezor this fine day?"
I think he's sleeping off last night.
Oh, I understand.
He was playing here. Were you here when he was?
I was doing the full day, and it was something I can tell you. Perhaps I shall bring out for you. And she moves her hands like she's searching for the word. Waffle.
Oh yes, please.
Waffle.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Thank
And
you.
a waffle for you, sir.
A waffle? Yes, please.
Thank you. I will be back into.
Do you do breakfast in bed here? I think Nezor might like some waffles.
Is it a waffle?
Yes, I will pay for him.
This is highly irregular, but yeah, well. And she sort of skips off with a grin.
You're welcome.
I think we are all welcome on that.
I think we need to ask, does anyone feel like a visit to Mr. Roughhouse might be in order?
What would you mean to tell him?
Well, the gentleman boxer is more than just a publicity, I guess.
It is a personality that he
Yes.
is. Yeah.
And I feel that informing Mr. Roughhouse of someone's less than honourable intentions towards the match might in some way diffuse anyone's ability to interfere.
But if they're going to interfere, they're going to interfere in his favour. So really,
And he
what's
wouldn't
the
want
point?
that.
He wouldn't.
His reputation
So?
is one that is entirely honourable.
I mean, we can. I just don't see the point, to be honest.
I quite enjoy the mental image of, it not going to Pont's way, and then I can give him the middle finger across the fighting
Well, I
ring.
can't deny
There is that.
All right.
And there we go. All right.
And then I get to stab him without actually stabbing him, which I know you don't want me to.
As long
do.
as you're not actually stabbing him, that's my main.
Like, if he winds up dead in a month's time, it wasn't
As I
me.
can personally attest, suffering is far more effective punishment than simple death.
True that. I'm with you. Yeah, let's talk to the large man. Yeah.
I feel
Do
like
we want to
finding-
wait for the dwarf?
Let's-
Not the dwarf.
no,
I do apologize. The halfling.
He's busy.
Let's wait for our waffles and then we'll leave.
Yes, let's have the waffles.
So I do head downstairs eventually.
All right.
And I'm assuming run into these guys.
They're probably polishing off breakfast at that point.
Another rum, please.
Oh, goodness, already.
If this is a hangover, why do you people do this?
Oh.
Oh.
Hair of the dog for Mr. Nezor, please.
There you go, you see?
Well, now you're feeling better.
And now, mein good man, bacon. Bacon and orange juice. Do you have the juice of the orange?
Fantastic. Okay, so it is about 10 a.m. All said and done. You're stepping out. There is a large crowd that has accumulated in the pavilion area, which you have all not been to yet. But there are, again, streams of crowds all going down there. Lots of hawkers selling, like, get your genuine Charlie Roughhouse boxing wraps. Selling the genuine Jacque, how you say, the genuine Jacque trunks, Basim ear. Lots of different hawkers, very fairground sort of feel to the thing. Charlie, you are wandering through the crowds at this point, shaking hands and taking names, as it were. No, you're not beating people, but...
Shaking hands and taking names.
Yeah.
It's like,
Two
lovely to
very
meet you.
different activities.
Yes.
Hello, Goodman. Bam! Good afternoon. Hello.
I got punched by Charlie Roughhouse. It's the greatest day of my life.
I'm surprised I'm still
Can you
alive.
put me on right on the cheek, sir? That'd be brilliant.
Wanted a kisser. Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I'll never
face.
watch.
You've had a few freaks come up and ask that for that, actually.
I don't.
Break my nose. I'll never break it again.
I'll never break this nose again, so thank you so much.
Jacque has actually stepped up onto like a podium that's been set up, and he's just basically doing the strongman poses, and everyone's like, ooh, it's fantastic.
I'm actually be doing it in French, so it would be ooh la la.
Ooh la la. No, he is a genuinely strong-looking gentleman, though.
Dudley.
Very studly.
Buff.
Fuck
Yes,
yeah. Like, he's built. He's like a rectangle. Like, that's the best way to describe him. He is physically
You know how Chris
very
Hemsworth
robust.
is something of a triangle. He's a rectangle.
Yeah.
I'm like super attracted.
To a shape. To a general.
Can we please
just
beat
playing
Charlie?
a 2D platformer.
Please do.
All right, so I can see Charlie in the crowd. So
Do we want to
I-
have this conversation with him in a large crowd or in a small tent-like situation?
Well, we got to actually interact with him first.
Yeah, but
I'm just following along.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Same.
do the rest of us know that you met him last night?
No, not yet.
Because if we actually told Nezor why we're going, which
Yeah.
I feel like we probably would. So while you were out having a wonderful time last night and possibly getting your first hangover, good job, by the way, well done. We had the most delightful dinner in which I almost shot a man. Maybe the girls would fill you. Nine. Anywho, so as it turns out, Dupree is not dead yet. And he wanted us to rig the fight.
Yeah.
We said 9. Long story. Long story. A lot of
He
shouting.
got very angry.
I got so angry.
I'm glad you didn't rig the fight.
Yeah, me too.
Charlie's a really nice guy.
9. I don't want to rig the fight. He wants us to rig the fight in Charlie's favor.
Oh.
The problem is, we firstly don't know how,
And secondly, Dupont's a lying asshole.
and secondly, Dupont is an asshole. I don't know about the lying business. He certainly
he's a-
does a lot of it, but I don't know in this case exactly where the deception lies. And therein lies an interesting point of view that we did not actually consider. He normally hedges his bets one step up from us.
Either way, I'm going to speak to him.
So,
Charlie, not
so
Dupont.
Rhylind now wants to talk to Charlie to let him know that because Dupont is not going with us because we told him to do something anatomically inappropriate with a spear.
I know where Charlie lives, but I don't know where he is now.
Well, he's over there. Here, let me wake you up. There you are.
It's Nezor.
So you wait. Why do you know where he lives?
How on earth did you find that out?
Last night started interestingly.
And ended interestingly, apparently. So you did. What happened?
I played a song. Some people carried me to Charlie's house for some reason. I played a song for Charlie.
Wait till you met Charlie.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
I'm sure he is. Well, then perhaps you would be a useful person to have with us while we meet the man. Let's go and let's.
I don't know how much he likes me, but I've met him.
Okay.
But you are in.
Speaking terms with the man, let us go and chat with him then. Yeah.
Yes, Nezor, you go first.
He would know you. Yeah, you know him. Yeah,
I
you
don't know.
Maybe.
Depends how much he follows politics.
Maybe
I'll
send
stick-
Nezor in front of you. I mean, it's not like you're going to be. He's going to be blocking you.
the two of them
There are
together,
so many
yeah.
people I cannot see where he is right now.
Well, let's
Well,
go.
I can see where he is.
It's hard not to see him. He's a very tall man.
Let's just go, okay?
Yeah.
So I guess we head towards Charlie, and I go, hey, hi, Mr. Roughhouse.
Yeah, the crowd parts and you see Nezor and a dragon person and an elf and a half elf with a dragon and also dressed in furs, which is very odd.
Very.
Nezor, my friend. How are you?
Not good.
I'll sort of bend down. What did you get up to?
Roll me a dice to remember. D20 intelligence. Actually, no, it would be. What'd you roll?
It's a single
rolled a
digit.
3. We went to your house, and then we went to the
Intelligence. What's your intelligence?
intelligence is 1, so 4.
4. You vaguely remember
The house.
a bunch of houses and a fire, and then something to do with guards.
I remember your house, a couple of other houses, a bunch of people, fire, guards, and then I woke up to waffles.
Please don't tell me you burnt down someone's house.
There was no large fire in the city, so probably not.
I don't think we've met. Charlie Roughhouse.
Scan. Good
Pleasure
to meet you. Yeah.
And the lovely ladies.
Rhylind Westfall, know you by reputation, of course.
Wait, the Rhylind Westfall?
I think there's a
My
little.
lady, it's an honor. And he bows.
Oh, thank you. Are people staring at me right now?
Yes,
Oh, goodness.
absolutely. Apart from the fact that you're a dragon lady, Charlie bowing to you is something of a
Oh, that's very
Novelty.
kind of you, Charlie. Stand up.
Oh, yeah, it was like...
And our dear lady Abella.
Oh, I'm Abella. Hi.
honored.
Yeah. Same.
We would like a few words in private, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, I'm with the fans at the moment, so say...
Roughhouse, would you sign my piece of paper?
Is it a kid?
Yes,
I'll
it's
bend down
like-
and sort of pick him up on my arm, like on my bicep, and sort of like, eat your vegetables, stay out of trouble, and one day you can be a gentleman boxer as well.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Roughhouse.
Like pose, like
Is he on your shoulder? Like you
he's
pose?
sitting on my arm. So like I'll go, and
He just molested me with his bicep.
He looks incredibly thrilled and then runs off into
and
the
like
crowd.
pop him down, ruffle his hair.
Oh, when might you have time to speak?
I will be here for a few more hours. Meet me. Nezor knows where I'll be. Meet me there after. Then we can have a talk.
Dankeschön.
Thank you very much, Mr. West.
Charlie has a very large welt on his face, by the way. It looks like he's being clocked.
Can't help but ask, but what happened there?
Oh, just friendly sparring with Jacque. Nothing to be worried about.
Oh, good. Lovely. Right, I will
Well,
be
best
up
of
there.
luck. I'll see you later.
Yes.
They're still staring at me, aren't they?
And then I'll just sort of spin and pose again. Like.
They're staring at him more than you, don't worry.
A few hours later,
This is the Bachenaux side. Imagine how
How
bad
does
the
it feel
Erhart's
to
gonna
be? How does it feel to be the less interesting person in the crowd?
a few hours later.